let me invite Sahala, one of our students, a representative for new generation. Yeah, new gen Sahodaya is happy and excited to welcome Sahala for the official welcome address. Sahala, you can do.
Happy morning, it's me Sahla, grade 7. Today I am very happy to invite Head of the Department, Dr. Jisha Ma'am, School of Popular Studies, University of Calicut, and Life Member Fosi. And also I invite Dr. P.K. Naushad, Sir, General Secretary of New Gen Sahodaya School Complex, and Principal of my school, Al-Azhar English Medium School, Senior Secondary at Trishur. Today we have a keynote address from Mr. A.P. Ahmed Sir and celebrity, teacher, writer and scholar, former secretary of Mahakavi Moin Kuti Vaidya Mapila Kala Academy. And I am wishing you all happy Ayyankali Jayanti.
Yeah, thank you, Sahala. Thank you so much for joining. Now we are waiting for the guest and all, and please be join with us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You know the folk sound, the new drums, that is the Bahujan, but special. The days dedicated for the marginalized people, those who Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi mentioned them, Harijan, the children of the God Almighty. Sure. Wish you a very happy Ayyankalli Day.
Bhujan revolutionary microstate community of fought against the social inequality and caste discrimination. At times, when education is prohibited for the Bhujans, Ayyankali opened schools for them despite the continuous attacks from the Savarnas. When the Brahmanic order did not allow the Bhujan women of Kerala to cover their breasts, it was Ayyankali who ruled out this order and brought liberation. He is also the crusader of people's rights for education and opened several schools like Mahatma Ayyankali. In Kerala, access to public spaces was denied for Dalits. It means that they were not allowed to enter the streets at any cost, and its violation results in severe punishment. Ayyankali broke this immoral Brahmanic social order by walking across the prohibited street along with his men. But the Savarnas engaged in physical fight with the Bhujans not to allow them to walk on the prohibited streets, and this is popularly called as Chalia riots. He mobilized the people through plays of social protest. Since the schools did not allow the Bhujan children to educate, Ayyankali opened a school for them. School started by Ayyankali had no blackboards. Sand on the floor was the book and finger the pencil. Ayyankali established Sadhjana Paripalana Sangha in 1907 to bring unity among marginalized castes and turned it into mass movements for equality. Sabha stands against the social discrimination. Ayyankali headed the first agrarian strike in the history. As a result of that strike, the landlords of the Kerala burned the huts of the Dalits and committed atrocities on them. One of his famous protests against the Brahmanical Hindu social order is his ride on the bullock cart through the streets of Kerala against the supremacy of the upper castes. With this brave step, he asserted the right to freedom of movement in the public streets. Another famous movement carried out by Ayyankali is the right to women to cover their breasts. He asked the women to leave their chains of marble stones, which were a form of slavery. Ayyankali believed less in making speeches and more in concerted action to achieve his aims. He gave more importance to creative activities. Ayyankali started parallel courts to settle matters between the members of his community. magazine Sahodaya which was probably the first to be brought out by the undergraduates. Ayyankali advocated for reform development proposals. Progress through education and organization was his story. Ayyankali was not only a leader of his community, but also an unshakable guide and commander of the working classes.
Yeah, very much happy here to. Yeah, Epi Ahmad is a celebrity uh, teacher, celebrity teacher, and uh, he's a scholar, writer, orator, and formerly worked as a secretary of this Mahakavi Moingutu Maplakala Academy. And I'm very much happy to invite him for his morning talk for the Newgen Sahodaya's program, special focus of the national education policy were for the marginalized people like even Mahatma Ayyankali. We are celebrating a day, National Day for Mahatma Ayyankali Day, and he is a special expert for that. Let me invite him for his official keynote address. Sir, you can talk now.
First of all, I really appreciate Dr. Naushad and his team for organizing a memorial morning. Actually, a good morning to Mahatma Ayyankali. Once again, I congratulate for a Newgen Sahodaya for this novel idea and a special morning to remember Mahatma Ayyankali. And I appreciate the eminent person who came to inaugurate the session, Dr. Jisha, head of the Department of Folklore Studies of Colloquium University and the life member of FOSRI. And as you all know, Mahatma Ayyankali was the prominent reformist revolutionary in India and the first prominent leader who fought for the liberation of Dalits, especially Pulaya. As you know, Pulaya community was really not only the downtrodden, the lowest caste in Dalits, but really they were the rural slaves. Literally, actually slaves. They were slaves. They don't having any rights to live. They cannot walk on the public roads. They cannot wear the normal clothes. They cannot learn in the public schools. They were not having any human right to live in the world. Such a community was Pulaya among Dalits. That time, Mahatma Ayyankali born, as you know, on this day, 28th of August in 1863. Actually, his family was lucky in a sense because they were having some land. Actually, all the Dalits, especially Pulayas, were only slave labor. They were not having any right to own an inch of land. But by luck, Ayyankali's family was owning 8 acres of land because of a generous landlord. There was a landlord, Panangotu Parameswaran Pilla. He was a very gentleman, very good landlord. Even though he was a Nair upper caste, but he was very kind and generous to donate 8 acres of land to Ayyankali's father. It's Ayyan. Ayyan was his father's name and Kali was Ayyankali's real name. Okay. Anyway, Ayyankali was even though they were lucky to have some land, he was illiterate. Illiterate means they were not having any entry into any schools in India. So they could not learn. He could not learn anything. Not only he and the entire community of Pulayas, Dalits, they were not able to study in a school. So he was illiterate. Even though he was illiterate, he worked, he fought for the liberation of Dalits, his community. The most famous and the most prominent historic event in his life was in 1893. And you know, it was the Villu Vandi. It's a simple event actually. Villu Vandi means it's a bullock cart. A bullock cart. When there was a time, Dalits had no right to walk on the public roads. They cannot think of purchasing a bullock cart or riding it on the road. At that time, Ayyankali bought a bullock cart or Villu Vandi, and he, with his friend, rode it from Venganur, his native place, and from Venganur to Juvankam. That was a historic event, even though it was actually an real historic event. It was the first time a Dalit man was riding a bullock cart on the public road. That was the first event, the first major event in his life. Of course, it was historic, 1893. 1893 is the year, the very year Swami Vivekananda performed his Chicago speech. That's a coincidence. There is one more coincidence in Ayyankali's life. Three great men was joined together in his life. That means in 1888, Srinarayana Guru performed Shivagiri installation. Shivagiri Idava Shiva was installed by Srinarayana Guru. Ayyankali went there to appreciate him, to join with him, and Ayyankali and Srinarayana Guru was eating together, talking together, and discussing together the reformist movement, everything. That means at a time both the genius, both the reformists, one was from Idava community, that means Srinarayana Guru was from Idava community, and Ayyankali was from Pulaya community. That means two reformist leaders joined together. And at last in 1937, Mahatma Gandhi, when Mahatma Gandhi came to Juvankam to celebrate the temple entry movement. So in 1937, Mahatma Gandhi also met with both of them. Mahatma Gandhi met with Srinarayana Guru and then with Ayyankali. This trio, that means three great men, came together, met together, talked together. That was also a coincidence, not only a coincidence, but a historic coincidence. Okay. The second major event in Ayyankali's life was in 1898. He made a Sahodaya, that means a procession march of Pulayas to Balaramapuram from his native place, Venganur. From Venganur to Balaramapuram procession. That was not only a major historic event, but it made many clashes on the way. The Savarna people, means the upper caste people, blocked this way and fought with the physical fight everywhere, especially in Manakkadu, in Kalakutam, in Kanyapuram, everywhere the Savarna brigade, the Savarna brigade came to fight with him, and the Dalit people, Pulaya people, along with Ayyankali, they fought with them. Physical fights and many were injured. That was the second major event in 1898. And the third major event was in 1904. He started schools for his community, rural schools, means Kudipalli Kuda. They called it Kudipalli Kuda. In 1904, he started the first school. But as expected, the school was burned by the Savarna people. Again, reconstructed the school. That was a very, very bold effort to establish the school for his community, because other schools, public schools, were not having anything to tell it. They cannot enter the school, they cannot study in the school. So they started their own school. That was the most reformist movement in 1904. And the next movement was in 1907. He started an organization to mobilize, to organize, to educate, to politicalize Pulaya, its own community.
Yeah, I'm not interfering. Let me ask you some questions. Mahatma Ayyankali was a social reformer who worked for the advancement of the people and much more about the education also. Where we are celebrating the National Teachers' Day on September 5th and all, na? But better, even 1907 he started the movement. Better we have to celebrate the World Teachers' Day or something occasion for his birthday, no? That is the great thing, no?
It's a very good suggestion, and then let us have a discussion on it. Okay. Anyway, that point should come to the focus point of our discussion, especially regarding the Teachers' Day. Okay. Can I continue, Dr.?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. In 1907, he started the movement, Sadhu Jana Paribalana Sangam. Actually, it's, how can we translate, Association of the Protection of the Poor. Sadhu Jana Paribalana Sangam. That was the movement, the first ever Dalit movement in India for the reformist and revolutionary action. Okay, in 1907. Under the auspices of this association, in 1910, he fought for the entry into public schools. Apart from their own community schools, Ayyankali fought for the entry into public schools for Dalits. In 1910, he went into a public school of Venganur. Near Venganur, one place was there, Uru Tambalam. Uru Tambalam is a place I have been there. A place near to Venganur. He took a girl, a famous girl in history. That girl created the history. That girl's name was Panchami, one daughter of one Pujari Ayyan. He took the girl to the school and entered the school and wanted to register her name in the school. There was a big clash, and for days there was continuous fight between Dalits, Pulayas, and Savarnas, especially Savarnas being the lowest caste of Savarnas, this Nayars. Okay, anyway, at last, there happened a historic event. He announced the first ever agricultural workers' strike in India. That was the outcome of that school entry. He declared, if you Savarna people, are not ready to teach our children in your school, we, the Avarna people, we, the Pulayas, will not work in your field, and we will not make something to eat you. That means that was the declaration. So that was the first agricultural workers' strike in India, means the most common strike. So the problem was solved. Government interfered, they decided, the Travancore Maharaja declared to entry of all the Dalit Pulayar to admit in the schools. That was the result. So it was a result of actually that the first agricultural site in India was not for any labor cause. It was for the educational purpose. That is the importance of that site. It was in 1910. And in 1911, by that time, he was a very prominent person not only in Kerala, in all over India. So, Srimulam Praja Sabha was a legislative assembly with limited power. It was a nominated body of Travancore emperor. So, he was nominated. Mahathma Ayyankali was nominated as a member of Srimulam Praja Sabha, assembly member. He was an MLA. He demanded, when he was nominated to Srimulam Praja Sabha, his first demand was for proportionate representation. He asked to Maharaja that Pulaya has got 6 lakh people in Travancore, 6 lakh. So one Ayyankalli is not enough to represent the community. So we need appropriate, proportionate representation, at least one person for 1 lakh Dalits. So he demanded for at least 6 Pulaya, 6 Dalits in Srimulam Praja Sabha. Gradually, first it was, the demand was agreed, and first 3, then 4, and like that, gradually he got the proper representation in Srimulam Praja Sabha. And the first talk in assembly was for the land ownership of Dalits. That was also historic. He demanded, we want to own our own land, even though it is some sense, whatever it is. We want the property ownership. That was the first speech in Srimulam Praja Sabha. And his second speech was for school admission in public schools. We want to study in public schools. And the third speech was for job entry. Job entry, that speech was very revolutionary because in that time, all the government jobs in Travancore was reserved for Brahmins, especially Tamil Brahmins. Even Nayars cannot talk about a demand for government service jobs. That time, a Dalit, especially a Pulaya leader, was demanding for government job. That means many historic events was there in Kallumala. Kallumala was an identity of stony ornament. Only stony ornaments with stone that can be wear for Dalit ladies. He asked the Dalit women to avoid, to break it and throw it. So, Kallumala Behishkaran, that was also a very famous struggle was there. And at last, almost end of his life, he started these community courts. Community courts means even in courts also, in judicial process also, there was untouchability. Means whoever is there, when a Dalit is going to a court, he should stand very, very far from the court. He or she should stand very, very, very much away from the judge. There was a disparity everywhere. So he started his own community courts. That was also a historic event. At last, as I told you earlier, in 1937, Gandhi came to Travancore, to Trivandrum, to celebrate the temple entry event, temple entry of Chitra Bidnar Maharaja declaration, temple entry declaration in 1936. Mahatma Gandhi, when he came to Kerala, For this celebration, he met with Srinarayana Guru and Ayyankali. But Ayyankali's response was very, very shocking to Mahatma Gandhi. He has written in Young India. Mahatma Gandhi asked him, why you are not interested? Why you are not happy? Ayyankali told him, Mahatma, what is there good in temple entry? I don't want to go to any temple. I don't want Holayas to see in temple. I want to do something else. So Mahatma Gandhi very patiently asked him, Ayyankali, then what's your vision of your community? Ayyankali politely told him, Mahatma, can you give me 10 graduates at least from Holaya? That was a big question. Education is much more important than entry into temples, than worshipping God. Education is most important. Education is the real liberation process. That was the message Mahatma Ayyankali handed over to, or Mahatma Ayyankali proclaimed to Sadhar, means Mahatma Gandhi. That was a good message forever. That was a message Mahatma Ayyankali gave to the world. So, with these words, Dr. Naushad, let me conclude the speech. And I think the time is also.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for a very inspiring speech. Let me ask you some questions regarding. I think you belongs to Nadiripu Surubam, where these the largest Dalit colony is there in Nadiripu. No? Can you just mention about the Nadiripu Surubam and its importance and the colony, Harijan colony?
A forgotten history, or that means in this Nadiripu, the very, very name comes from Nadiripu Surubam. Nadiripu Surubam was the actual very old, very old mother place of tamarind. And actually, according to the custom, where the mother place or mother house or mother land is the actual capital of the any country, or that is the custom. So tamarinds belong to Nadiripu actually. Nadiripu Surubam means it is the headquarters of tamarind, the real headquarters. But unfortunately, during in time.
And you were associated and you were connected, and moreover you are the office bearer of this Mahakavi Moingutti Vaidya Academy. What about these marginalized people, especially Maplapat and Muslim community, Mapla community? Now that discussion also is very much relevant now. What about Maplapat? This is about folk arts and folk culture. In Kerala, we are highlighting these cultural classical form is Kathakali, and Kathakali is associated with is only for the rich class, higher creamy layer people of Kerala, But wherever a president is coming or American president is coming, we are giving this bouquet or a monument of Kathakali, not for a folk arts. What about that observation?
Yeah, that is actually the difference in our views. Really, our views means the folk art should be brought into focus everywhere. Actually, Maplapat has got a very interesting history. Maplas means the Muslims, thousands of years back, they were coming for had merchants here, and there was very long relation between Indo-Arab relations was there. So when Arabs came here and gradually they settled here, they have got their own rhythm inside. The rhythm of sea, rhythm of ship, and the rhythm of desert, the rhythm of caravan, and everything. An Arabic, very unique rhythm was there in the minds of Maplas. Gradually, they came here and they settled in Kerala. And the first problem they faced was the language. They cannot express in Malayalam, but they know Arabic as a script. So gradually they created a language, a special language that was Arabic Malayalam. That means we can read a language in Malayalam and the script, or we can write it in Arabic. That was a special language. It was a very, very valuable cultural combination, a cultural contribution to Indian culture by Mahathma. That was this Arabic Malayalam language. There are loads of books are there, especially mainly songs, Mappala Patta, and Arabic Malayalam novels are there, Arabic Malayalam stories are there, and both like Kathakali, lots of forms, art forms are there, and this Colloquium, Aravanamuttu, Dasmuttu, many art forms are also there. Opana is there, using this.
And this Theyyam, and that's in Kannur. That side, no, Theyyam. We can see Theyyam and
Also, it's a combination, like this, a combination. You know, Mappala Theyyam is there. It's a section of
Mappila Ramayanam also.
Ramayanam is there. I mean, all are this, a part of this folklore. Mappila Ramayanam was found out, but anonymous. We don't know who wrote it, but it is very famous, very popular in history. Mappila Ramayanam means the Ramayanam in the written or literary ballads or sung in the form of Mappila Patta. Everything is there. It's a cultural, a mix, a cultural blend.
Yeah, even though I'm telling the Mappila Patta, it's that's a mixture of different languages: Tamil, Malayalam, Sanskrit, Arabic. Yeah, but even though we don't know the meaning itself, for example, Tudera Maddalom, like that, no, lot of songs are no, but there's a very cultural history and folk colors are related to that one, and even that is world famous and popular nowadays. You know, when we are celebrating this centenary celebration of 1921, the freedom movements, you know, even this there are some songs, you know, in popular in the YouTubes and all, that is Kambalathu Govindan and all is written like just like people know. I don't know clearly about that things. Even they are popularizing the cultural things about in Maplapat, related to Maplapat. I think also, you know, Faiz Kisheri, and he's from Kurinyalam. His language also very popular. When we are addressing this national education policy, is clearly defined that up to 8th standard or 6th standard, mother tongue is very much important. Yeah. Even the English medium school, CBSE school, some schools, you know, they are giving fine system for those who are talking Malayalam. Even that present situation is going on, mother tongue, our mother language, mother culture is very much important. National education policy is clearly mentioning about it when it's already started as a bill or policy now, and when we are implementing, that's when there will be a what's called a clarity. What about, it's not clear at all, because lot of CBSE schools, you know, when they are not permitting even to talk Malayalam in schools. That's a very pathetic condition. What about that?
Actually, yeah, many basic points are there, especially in linguistic language. First of all, the first question is, what is mother tongue? Mother tongue is the language of mother. Then, how many Malayalams are there? And the mother tongue is, then the second answer is, which is your mother tongue? Mother tongue is Malayalam. The next question is, how many Malayalams are there in Kerala? So many Malayalams are there. But so, what is my mother tongue? My mother tongue is Kondoti Malayalam or Malappuram Malayalam, whatever it is.
That's why, you know, Faiz, and people of not only in Kerala, all over the world, they are accepted Faiz. You know, social media, not the education department. Social media realized it. Okay.
and liberalization and globalization. Cultural globalization means the Western culture will come and it will swallow our culture. That was the fear. Actually, what happened was the reverse process. All the local culture, local language was universalized. So that was I see that positive thing. And it's a very, very, very interesting thing also. So the question is a sort of coming over or taking over. When a teacher is teacher is coming from Travancore to Malabar, and they are teaching us Malayalam, and they are cleaning our Malayalam. Then Malabar Malayalam or Malappuram Malayalam, Kottoti Malayalam is not pure, not good.
Standardization of language. And before that, I can address other issue you just mentioned, that the globalization of the language. Even I done some of the research as part of incubation. That is Indian Institute of Management Code. Word, the slogan of IIM Code. That is that globalization of Indian thought. That is his slogan. Globalization of Indian thought. Actually, we need the decolonization of the thought and decolonization of the language.
Very important was the basic question. And Vaikam Mohammed Bashir. Vaikam Mohammed Bashir wrote in his own language. His own language, especially into Bupakaran and Darma. My granddad had an elephant. Okay. When he wrote in his own mother tongue, some critics, especially this established critics of this time, they criticize what language is this. He simply answered in a sentence, I am writing in my own mother tongue. My mother tongue means the language of my mother. That was the answer. Now the change in our language concept is very much interesting. For example, all the dialects means local languages have been brought into the standard language. For example, when we start in a train from Trivandrum, we got a simple word. Take a simple word in the dictionary. That means what? End. We are starting from Trivandrum. They will ask you, Enduva. Then if you reach Kollam, some friend is coming to your compartment and he will teach you Endona. Right? Then the same train reaching in Kottayam, one of your friends coming and ask you, Enna. The same train if you reach in Induta, they will ask you Induta.
Yeah.
Then if you are coming to Calicut, you can recall it, the difference. You can see the difference. Endini, they will ask you Endini. If you reach in Kannur or Kasaragod, Endoli, they will ask you the same word end for what. So the language has been universalized. That means instead of thousands of Malayalam, all the 1,000 forms of Malayalam have been universalized and mixed up and came into a common language. That is what we call it plurality. Plurality of a language. It has been.
It's a very good scope for a research also. You made it very nicely. Even Jairaj Warrior beautifully illustrating all this. Senior arts, Jairaj was beautifully his presentation. Yeah, caricature. He's actually from Trishur, yeah, the cultural capital, but he addressed everything. Okay, I'm taking one more points. Let's conclude for this. In ways very much relevant nationally. I'm just asking you about the educational contribution of Ayyankalli. but much of the people, we don't know exactly what actually it is. Why it is not but not included in our mainstream curriculum or mainstream studies, even though there is a national holiday of the day. And Sahodaya panel, yeah, Sahodaya panel is discussed that all the teachers should prepare a 5 minutes video about Ayyankali's lesson and upload in our school official portal. Then the students will learn that things. Even yeah, even a holiday, they can enjoy it. They can enjoy for learning for Mahatma Ayyankali's lesson. Even the students and parents also, they can learn from the Google. That's the post-pandemic schooling. They can learn from the Google or yeah, yeah.
Job actually, even instead of enjoying a holiday, you are teaching what is the message of Ayyankali. Means the people are learning what is Ayyankali. Instead of enjoying a holiday, instead of wasting a holiday, they are making it use of learning.
Even though we need a policy in this regard, because when Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he died, no, that time CBSE Schools Management Association, they made a statement that every school will be a holiday. And we are very much worried about that. And next, the government schools, they told that school will be a working day, because Kalam already mentioned that if I died, school has to work double, not to be a public holiday. That's a model effort, and every school, including CBSE, worked that one. Even my college, 3 days working day extra there. Even the Sunday they are worked for that. That's a great example there. After that, again, we are the government of Kerala or the central government ministry. They are not changing. Even our education minister, they can put a message that the holiday for only for what some ceremonies, But Ayyankalli's day, we have to work it, teachers and all. And they have to learn much more about Ayyankali. That's even a small minister or anyone, former minister died, total education disaster will be there. There is no class schools. Even some occasions like Karkada Vavu, even our parents suggested that maybe a religious time will be there in the forenoon or something, or early morning, but whole day will be there. Suppose a Muslims, they are not going in a church. Even the Sunday is very, very good for the Christians, and Friday for the Muslims and all. It's a communal holidays, Even a Muslims, they can learn a lot of things in the Sunday. Even the Christians, they can learn a lot of things in the Friday. In a online education, it's very simple. Everything is there in the Google. Anytime we can learn anything. Even this such a what's called, it's a traditional foolish things our teachers are following. Our schools are following, principals are following. That's why in the yesterday's Sahoday's panel discussed that all this stuff for religious holidays, it will be a working day for a research, for a learning part. Whatever the policy of government, you are working in a government school, sir. Government school, what actually doing, going for the weekdays class and all. Can you just explain that also?
Actually, as you know, our custom of holidays, everything is based actually. Even for Mahatma Gandhi, there is Gandhi Jayanti. When we were students, there was Devanavara, means starting from October 2nd. Devanavara means 7 days extra work was there. Cleaning, planting, agriculture, or whatever it is, cultural activities. Nothing, that sort of nothing is there now. Just a holiday. We are simply sleeping for Mahatma Gandhi a day. And this holiday, the concept of holiday should be reconsidered long before. So I'm not at all anyway. My service period is going to end now. So anyway, the system should be changed. So I'm very, very.
When we are concluding this one, the education relevance, we are a continuous series about the different aspects of the national education policies, in which, Dr. Maria Montessori started the first school in Italy. She was the first lady doctor, medical doctor in Italy, and also educationist. For especially, she developed a work for the street children experimentally. Her school's name is her school's name is Casa de Bambini, means House of Children. That is, she founded in 1907. And 1907. Yeah, and I think the Ayyankalli started well before that one about the schooling. No, I think the World Education Day, 1904, and the school that is Punjabi things and all you mentioned, that is in the year of oh 19, well before of Maria Montessori, and that is Mahatma Ayyankali started this education revolution here. I think better we can rethink about we have to celebrate the World Education Day in the uh, in the birthday. Yeah, Ayyankali Day. Maybe we can send this proposal to the education fraternity to rethink about that. Yeah, that is the most relevant things, that is that even the chief minister of Kerala realized that last year, no, visited the same place that Punjabis things and all he addressed. Yeah, 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 sure, sure. Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, 1904, 1904, yeah. Kudipallikudam, no. Where exactly that place? Oh, that's why. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that's a time for we can. It's a world. It's a record breaking. It's a record breaking, and we have to celebrate. Even Maria Montessori mentioned that follow the child, not to follow me. Even the term Maria Montessori itself, other people use it, not Maria Montessori. And we can go for Ayyankallis because we are the Keralites. We are lucky of that thing. To mention that thing, we have to celebrate the World Education Day, not Teachers Day. World Education Day in that day. Ayyankalli's Day, the same day. Yeah. Yeah, I have the picture. Even one of my friend, those who are associated with the World Montessori Council and Chamber of Education, she's Bhuvaneshwari Gurumurthy. She visited there recently, and my wife also visited in Italy, where that is written Casade Bambini. Then in Italian word, actually Montessori system, she started with the language used in Italian, and the mother tongue is very much important. But even though all the Montessori school they are teaching English, against the concept of Montessori. Everywhere, all over the world, school name is called Casa de Bambini, means house of children. Casa means house, de means of, Bambino means child, Bambini means children. Casa de Bambini, that is the house of children. Even the term of school is not used. That is the system of Montessori approach. It's called House of Children. Yeah. Maybe the children's paradise. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Okay. Anyway, we have to go. Anyway, thank you so much for joining this one as a celebrity guest for this morning show for Sahodaya. We will send the recording files to everyone. Yeah. And Mr. A.P. Hamad is a very popular writer and orator. Usually, I am observed only his Malayalam speech. Today, he talked in a very nice English, sir. Usually, people of Kerala, we are blessed with your Malayalam speeches. First time I am hearing you. First time I am hearing you. And you are working as a teacher in a government school in Kondoti, no? We're close to Calicut Airport, and that is aeroplane tragedy, that's happened. And people of Kondoti, it's saluted, Yeah, they got all the appreciation from the world, no? And Malappuram is rocking Malappuram everywhere. Now it's a time for the yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the Furusata movement. Furusata means love our motherland. Everyone have a motherland. They have to love for their land. Even the God Almighty have an intention where you born, the place that's your footprints is very much important. Okay, okay. Even the there's a yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, sir. You can leave now. You can leave. The this as per the religious principles, where the paradise, that's a question, paradise. Even the Islam says that your paradise is lies under the foot of your mother, not to the father. The Islam is not a what's called male dominated one. It's a female system. No? Your paradise. We are all working, praying, doing all these things to enter to reach paradise. Where is the paradise? Clearly mentioned that your paradise the under the foot of your mother, not the father. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ayyankali's days we are observing the full day. We have celebrations like the four colors are very much important. Four colors. Yeah, and we are rocking this.
പണിയെടുക്കാൻ മാത്രം വിളിക്കപ്പെട്ട കീഴാണ്. പണി കഴിഞ്ഞു വരുമ്പോൾ മണ്ണിൽ കുഴികുത്തി അതിൽ വെച്ച ഇലയിൽ വിളമ്പി കൊടുക്കുന്ന അല്പഭക്ഷണം മാത്രം കഴിക്കുക. പൊതുസ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ പ്രവേശനമില്ല. രോഗം വന്നാൽ ചികിത്സയില്ല. എന്തിന്? നേരെ വസ്ത്രം ധരിക്കാൻ പോലുമുള്ള അവകാശമില്ല. ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു കൂട്ടം മനുഷ്യരുടെ കണ്ണീരും വിയർപ്പും കുതിർന്ന മണ്ണിലാണ് 1863 ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 18 അയ്യങ്കാളി ജനിച്ചത്. പെരിങ്ങാട്ടുവിള എന്ന കുടുംബ വീട്ടിലാണ് അയ്യങ്കാളി ജനിച്ചത്. ആ പെരിങ്ങാട്ടുവിള എന്ന കുടുംബ വീട് സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്തിരുന്ന സ്ഥലത്താണ്. ഈ കുടുംബത്തിലെ പാവപ്പെട്ട കർഷക തൊഴിലാളികളായ അയ്യന്റെയും മാലയുടെയും മകനായ കാളിയാണ് പിന്നീട് അയ്യങ്കാളി മാറിയത്. എഴുത്തും വായനയും നിഷേധിക്കപ്പെട്ട അധസ്ഥിത വർഗക്കാർക്ക് അന്ന് നിലമുഴുന്ന കണ്ണിന്റെ വിലയുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഭൂവുടമകളുടെ അറകൾ നിറയ്ക്കുക എന്നതാണ് തങ്ങളുടെ ജന്മനിയോഗം എന്ന് വിശ്വസിച്ചിരുന്ന ഈ വിഭാഗക്കാരുടെ ഉന്നമനത്തിനായി ശ്രമിച്ച സാമൂഹ്യ പരിഷ്കർത്താവായിരുന്നു. ജാതീയമായ ഉച്ചനീചത്വങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഗമായി കീഴാള സ്ത്രീകൾ മാറുമറച്ചുകൂടാ എന്നൊരു വിചിത്ര നിയമം അക്കാലത്ത് കേരളത്തിൽ നിലവിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഐത്താചാരത്തിന്റെ ക്രൂരത മൂലം സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ മുഖ്യധാരയിൽ നിന്ന് ബഹിഷ്കൃതരായിരുന്ന പുലയ പറയ സമുദായങ്ങളെ അയ്യൻകാളി സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചു. സ്ത്രീകൾ ഉലക്കച്ച അണിഞ്ഞു നടക്കാൻ ആഹ്വാനം ചെയ്തു. അടിമത്തത്തിന്റെ അടയാളമായ കല്ലുമാലയും വലിച്ചെറിഞ്ഞ് ജന്മിമാരുടെ തടിമിടുക്കിനെ നേരിടാൻ ഒരു സംഘം യുവാക്കളെ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുകയും കായിക പരിശീലനം നൽകി അവരെ സജ്ജരാക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു. അധികാരത്തിന്റെ പ്രൗഢി പ്രദർശിപ്പിച്ച് ഗർവോടെ വില്ലുവണ്ടിയിൽ സഞ്ചരിക്കുന്ന പ്രമാണിമാരെ അതേ നാണയത്തിൽ തിരിച്ചടിക്കാൻ അയ്യൻകാളി തീരുമാനിച്ചു. മേൽമുണ്ടും തലപ്പാവും ധരിച്ച് കാളവണ്ടിയിൽ ബാലരാമപുരത്തെ പൊതുവഴിയിലൂടെയുള്ള ആ യാത്ര നൂറ്റാണ്ടുകളായി മർദ്ദനമേൽക്കുന്ന ഒരടിയാള വർഗത്തിന്റെ ഹൃദയങ്ങളിലേക്കായിരുന്നു. ആവേശഭരിതരായി അകമ്പടി സേവിച്ച ആയിരങ്ങൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ അയ്യൻകാളി യജമാനൻ എന്ന് വിളിച്ചു തുടങ്ങി. ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിലെ ഇന്ത്യ വൈത്താരിയിൽ തന്റേതായ രീതിയിൽ വെളിച്ചം പകരാൻ ശ്രമിച്ച സാമൂഹ്യ പരിഷ്കർത്താവായിരുന്നു അയ്യങ്കാളി. മേലാള ആധിപത്യവും കീഴാള അടിമത്വവും കണ്ടും അനുഭവിച്ചും അനുഭവിച്ച ഒരു കൂട്ടം മനുഷ്യർക്ക് വേണ്ടി അദ്ദേഹം നടത്തിയ ധീരമായ കാലുകയറ്റുകൾ, സംരംഭങ്ങൾ ഇവയൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരുന്നു തിരുവനന്തപുരം യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി കോളേജിലെ ചരിത്ര വിഭാഗം മേധാവിയായിരുന്ന ഡോക്ടർ ആൻഡ് പ്രൊഫസർ ശ്രീ ടി.പി. ശങ്കരൻകുട്ടി. നമസ്കാരം. വളരെ ശോചനീയമായ ഒരു അന്തരീക്ഷത്തിൽ, അതായത് ഈ കീഴാളന്മാർക്ക് സഹിക്കാവുന്നതിന്റെ അപ്പുറം സഹിക്കേണ്ടി വന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിൽ അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ള ഒരു പ്രചോദനം അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് എവിടെ നിന്നു?
അത് അയ്യങ്കാളി ജീവിച്ചിരുന്ന കാലഘട്ടത്തിന്റെ പ്രത്യേകതയായിരുന്നു. അന്നൊക്കെ സഞ്ചാര സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം, കിണറ്റിൽ നിന്ന് വെള്ളം കോരാനുള്ളത്, വിദ്യാഭ്യാസമുള്ള സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം, ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളിൽ പോകുന്നതിനുള്ള, സ്വർണം ധരിക്കാൻ പോലും വയ്യ, എന്തിന് വസ്ത്രം ധരിക്കാൻ പോലും വയ്യ. അപ്പോൾ 64 അടി ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് പൊല്യൂഷൻ പുലയർക്കായിട്ട് മാറ്റിവെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒരു നമ്പൂതിരി കണ്ടാൽ മതി പുലയന് എന്താ പണിഷ്മെന്റ് കിട്ടണമെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റാത്ത വിധത്തിൽ ഒരു കാടത്തമായ സംസ്കാരമാണ് അന്ന് നിലനിന്നത്. അതിലെ ഒരു പ്രതിനിധിയാണ് അയ്യങ്കാളി. അതുകൊണ്ട് അയ്യങ്കാളിക്ക് ഇത് ആരും പഠിപ്പിക്കാതെ തന്നെ, അദ്ദേഹം നിരക്ഷരനായിരുന്നു. വെങ്ങാനൂര് ജനിച്ച് വളർന്ന് ഇത്രയൊക്കെ ആയി എങ്കിലും അദ്ദേഹം നിരക്ഷരനായിരുന്നു. അദ്ദേഹം മരിക്കുമ്പോൾ പോലും പറഞ്ഞത് എൻ്റെ സമുദായത്തിൽ നിന്നൊരു 10-12 ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ്സിനെ സൃഷ്ടിച്ചിട്ട് എനിക്ക് മരിച്ചാൽ മതിയെന്ന്. അത്രയ്ക്ക് പരിതാപകരമായ അവസ്ഥയിലാണ് അയ്യങ്കാളി വളർന്നു വന്ന് സ്വന്തം കഴിവുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു വിദ്യാഭ്യാസമല്ല, ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക്. ഇറ്റ് വാസ് എ വൺ മാൻ ഷോ. ഈ 77 വർഷക്കാലവും അദ്ദേഹം ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് നിന്നാണ് പൊരുതി ഈ നിലയിൽ എത്തിച്ചത്.
ആ ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ ജന്മിത്ത വ്യവസായം കൊടുകുത്തി വാഴുന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിൽ എങ്ങനെ ആ ഒരു ധൈര്യം ഈ അധസ്ഥിത വർഗ്ഗക്കാർക്കുണ്ടായി?
അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ തിയറി ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയെടുത്തോളം കയ്യൂപ്പുള്ളവൻ കാര്യക്കാരൻ. അതായത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് മാതൃക ആരുമില്ല. അത് ഒരു കാര്യം വ്യക്തമാക്കി മനസ്സിലാക്കി, അധികാരികൾക്ക് പരാതി കൊടുത്തതുകൊണ്ടോ പോലീസിൽ കേസ് കൊടുത്തതുകൊണ്ടോ ഒന്നും നേടാൻ പോണില്ല. നമ്മൾ സ്വയം ആർജിക്കും. ആ ആർജവം കൊണ്ടാണ് അദ്ദേഹം ആദ്യമായിട്ട് സവർണരെ വെല്ലുവിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഒരു വില്ലുവണ്ടി വാങ്ങിയിട്ട് നമ്പൂതിരിമാരും രാജാക്കന്മാരും പോകുന്നത് പോലെ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തേക്ക് വില്ലുവണ്ടിയിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് യാത്ര. തടയുന്നെങ്കിൽ അവനെ വെട്ടുമെന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് തന്നെയാവും. അത്രയ്ക്കുള്ള ധൈര്യമാണ്. അതിന് ധൈര്യത്തിലുള്ള
പ്രവൃത്തിയുടെ ഉദ്ദേശം എന്തായിരുന്നു? വില്ലുവണ്ടിയിൽ യാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്നതിലൂടെ എന്തായിരുന്നു അദ്ദേഹം മനസ്സിലാക്കിക്കാൻ ശ്രമിച്ചത്?
അല്ല, അന്നത്തെ എക്സിസ്റ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെ ഞാൻ മാറ്റിമറിക്കും എന്നുള്ള എൻ്റെ വാണിങ്ങാണ്. ആരെതിർത്താലും, നായരെ എതിർത്താലും നമ്പൂതിരി എതിർത്താലും അതിനെ എതിർത്ത് തോൽപ്പിക്കുന്നുള്ള പൂർണ്ണ ബോധ്യത്തോടെയാണ് അദ്ദേഹം മുന്നോട്ട് പോയത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് ഇതിൽ 2 കാര്യമുണ്ട്. വില്ലുവണ്ടി അന്ന് നമ്പൂതിരിമാർക്കും രാജാക്കന്മാർക്കും ഉപയോഗിക്കാവും. പിന്നെ മെയിൻ റോഡിൽ കൂടി പോകുക. ബ്രാഹ്മണന്മാരെ നമ്പൂതിരിമാരെ വരുമ്പോൾ പുലയനായ അയ്യങ്കാളി മാറി നിൽക്കണം. അത് മാറിയുന്നില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു വെടിക്ക് 2 പക്ഷിയാണ്, 2 നേട്ടമാണ് അദ്ദേഹം കൊയ്തെടുക്കാൻ ശ്രമിച്ചത് ഈ 30-ാം വയസ്സിൽ. അത്രയ്ക്ക് ധൈര്യമാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിനുണ്ടായത്. അതായത് ആ കാലത്തിന്റെ നിയോഗം എന്നേ ഞാൻ പറയുള്ളൂ. ആ നിയോഗം അനുസരിച്ച് പ്രവർത്തിച്ച മഹാൻ.
ജന്മിമാരെ എതിർക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി യുവാക്കൾക്ക് കായിക പരിശീലനം നൽകുന്നതിനെ
കായിക പരിശീലനം ഇപ്പോൾ ഓരോരുത്തരും സ്വന്തം കാലിൽ നിൽക്കണം. ആ നിലയിലാണ് അദ്ദേഹം എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളും നടത്തിയതും യുവാക്കളെ ആ നിലയിൽ വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവന്നു. ഇപ്പോൾ നേരത്തെ കല്ലുമാലയുടെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, അതുവരെ നമുക്ക് അധസ്ഥിത വർഗ്ഗക്കാർക്ക് സ്വർണ്ണാഭരണങ്ങളോ വെള്ളി പോലും ഉപയോഗിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് അദ്ദേഹം എന്ത് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഇതിനെ പരാതിപ്പെടുകയോ ഒന്നും ചെയ്തില്ല. മഹാരാജ ശ്രീമൂലം തിരുനാളോ ഒന്നും കൊടുത്തില്ല. നേരെ അദ്ദേഹം കൊല്ലത്തെ അന്നത്തെ ഹരിജൻ സേവക് സംഘിന്റെ പ്രസിഡന്റ് ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരി പരമേശ്വരൻ പിള്ളയെ, സെക്രട്ടറി ഗാന്ധി എൻ ജി രാമേന്ദ്രൻ, ഇവര് രണ്ടുപേരുടെ അധ്യക്ഷതയിൽ ഒരു മഹാസമ്മേളനം കൊല്ലത്ത് വെച്ചതാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാ ഹരിജനങ്ങളോടും പുലയരോടും പറയരോടും ഒക്കെ സ്വർണ്ണാഭരണം കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. ഈ മീറ്റിങ്ങിൽ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് അവർ ധരിച്ചിരുന്ന കല്ലുമാല വലിച്ചൊരു മൗണ്ടനായിട്ട് അവിടെ ഇട്ടിട്ട് ഈ സ്വർണ്ണാഭരണം ധരിച്ചു. ആരുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിലാണ്? ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരി പരമേശ്വരൻ പിള്ളയെയും ജി രാമേന്ദ്രനെയും പോലെയുള്ള സവർണ നേതാക്കളുടെ. അത് ആരാണ്? അവര് ഹരിജൻ സേവക് സംഘിന്റെ പ്രസിഡന്റ് സെക്രട്ടറി. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയുള്ളൊരു മഹാസമ്മേളനത്തിൽ വെച്ച് നിയമം ബ്രേക്ക് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് അദ്ദേഹം സമൂഹത്തിന് കാണിച്ചു കൊടുത്ത എന്താ, ഞാൻ നിയമം ലംഘിച്ചാലും കാര്യങ്ങൾ നേടിയെടുക്കും. നമ്പൂതിരിക്ക് സ്വർണ്ണാഭരണം ധരിക്കാമെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ സമുദായത്തിലുള്ളവർക്കും അത് ധരിക്കാനുള്ള അവകാശം വേണം, ഞാൻ നേടിയെടുക്കും, തന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ. ഇതിനെ തുടർന്നാണ് ഇടയ്ക്ക് പെരുന്നാട് കൊല്ലം ഭാഗത്തൊക്കെ പല ലഹളകളൊക്കെ നടക്കുകയുണ്ടായി. പക്ഷെ ഈ ലഹളകളെയൊക്കെ അദ്ദേഹം നേരിട്ട് അദ്ദേഹം ഈ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ യുവാക്കളെ തയ്യാറാക്കി നിർത്തുകയും അടിക്കടി, ഈജിപ്ഷ്യൻ മെത്തേഡാണ് അടിക്കടി, കണ്ണിന് കണ്ണ് അടിക്കടി എന്നുള്ള മെത്തേഡാണ് ഇവിടെ അഡോപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തത്.
തിരുവിതാംകൂറിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ കർഷക തൊഴിലാളി സമരം അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ നേതൃത്വത്തിലാണ്. എന്തായിരുന്നു അതിന്റെ പിന്നിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്?
ഈ കർഷക തൊഴിലാളി സമരത്തിന് ബേസിക് പണ്ട് മുതലേ ഇപ്പോൾ 1792 ശ്രീരംഗപട്ടണ ഉടമ്പടി ഒപ്പിട്ടത് മുതൽ മലബാറിൽ ഭൂമി കൃഷി ചെയ്തിരുന്നത് മുസ്ലിംസാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഉടമസ്ഥന്മാരെ നമ്പൂതിരിന്നായിരുന്നു. തിരുവിതാംകൂറിലും കൊച്ചിയിലും ഇതേപോലെ തന്നെ ഭൂമി കൃഷി ചെയ്യുന്നത് പുലയരാണ്. ഈ 10% ഹിന്ദു പോപ്പുലേഷൻ 10% എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതിൽ 9.5% കൃഷിക്കാരാണ്. പക്ഷെ അവർ കൃഷി ചെയ്തു കാലാകാലങ്ങൾ, എത്രയോ നൂറ്റാണ്ടായിട്ട് കൃഷി ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഒരു ഇഞ്ച് ഭൂമി പോലും സവർണ മേധാവികൾ, പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമ്പൂതിരിമാർ, പുലയർക്കോ പറയർക്കോ കൊടുത്തിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പോൾ കൃഷി ചെയ്യാനുള്ള അവകാശം, കൃഷി ചെയ്ത് നെല്ല് കിട്ടിയാൽ അതിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും കൊടുത്താൽ ഭാഗ്യം. അപ്പോൾ അവരോട് ജോലി ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളൊരു മനോഭാവം, പകരം കഞ്ഞിയും പുഴുത്തും കൊടുക്കുകയായിരിക്കും. അതോടെ അവരുടെ ഇടപാട് കഴിഞ്ഞു. ദിസ് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിന് എതിരായിട്ടുള്ള ആഞ്ഞടിക്കലാണ് അയ്യങ്കാളി ചെയ്തത്.
വളരെയധികം ധർമ്മസമരങ്ങളിലുണ്ട് ആ ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ. സാറ് പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഒറ്റയാൾ പട്ടാളമായി നിലനിന്നുകൊണ്ടാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പല സമരങ്ങളും നടത്തിയത്. എന്നിട്ട് പോലും ഇത്രത്തോളം എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ നടത്തിയിട്ട് പോലും അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് അർഹമായ രീതിയിലുള്ള സ്മാരകങ്ങൾ, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും സംവിധാനങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടോ ഇപ്പോൾ നിലനിൽക്കുന്നത്?
ഇത് സ്മാരകത്തിനേക്കാൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ സ്മരണ ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് നാമമാത്രമായിട്ട് കൊടുക്കാറുണ്ടെന്നത് ഈ ക്ഷേത്രപ്രവേശന വിളംബരം വരുമ്പോഴാണ്. അതിൻ്റെ വാർഷികം വരുമ്പോൾ പലപ്പോഴും അധികാരികൾ വെള്ളയമ്പലത്തുള്ള അയ്യങ്കാളി പ്രതിമയിൽ ഹാരാർപ്പണം നടത്തും. അതുപോലെ വെങ്ങാനൂരും ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് അവർ മീറ്റിംഗ്സ് ഒക്കെ നടത്താറുണ്ട്. എന്നാലും മറ്റ് നേതാക്കന്മാർക്ക് ലഭിച്ചത്ര പ്രാധാന്യം അയ്യങ്കാളിക്ക് കേരളത്തിന്റെ സാമൂഹ്യ ചരിത്രത്തിൽ ഇനിയും ലഭിച്ചിട്ടില്ല.
ഒരു ഐശ്വര്യ നേതാവെന്നുള്ള നിലയിൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് കുടുംബസ്ഥൻ എന്നുള്ള നിലയിൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ കുടുംബത്തിനെ കുറിച്ച്
അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ കുടുംബം
Okay. We are continuing with these sessions. Sahodaya is updating this continuous sessions and all. For that, we have to be learn that Ayyankalli's education moments. So this day, CBSE Sahodaya panel requested every teachers, students, parents, they have to learn a lot of things from the online post-pandemic schooling, and they have to present a 5-minute video and send to Sahodaya through your school principals and the class teachers and all know that structure. And Sahodaya is awarding the best videos, best presentation that will be uploaded in the Sahodaya's official New Gen Sahodaya's Facebook page and the YouTube channel. And so we will continue the program.
മർദ്ദിത ജനങ്ങൾക്കിടയിൽ ആദ്യം ഉയർന്ന ശബ്ദമായിരുന്നു അയ്യൻകാളിയുടേത്. എന്നിട്ടും സ്വന്തം സമുദായത്തിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് എതിർപ്പുകൾ നേരിടേണ്ടി വന്നു. എന്നാൽ അത്തരം സംഭവ വികാസങ്ങൾ ഒന്നും അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ദൃഢനിശ്ചയത്തിന് മങ്ങൽ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചു.
That Mahathma Ayyankali, Kerala drama stages.
ഇളകി നിൽക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തിത്വം, ഒന്നുമില്ലായ്മയിൽ നിന്നും ഒരു ജനതയെ കൈപിടിച്ചുയർത്തിയ ക്രാന്തദർശി. അന്ധവിശ്വാസങ്ങൾക്കും അനാചാരങ്ങൾക്കുമെതിരെ തന്റെ ജനതയുടെ മോചനത്തിനും നടപ്പ് സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിനും വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിനും വേണ്ടി നിരന്തരം സംശയില്ല സമരം നടത്തിയ കർമ്മയോഗി. നീണ്ട 77 വർഷത്തെ ജീവിതം കൊണ്ട് തന്റെ വർഗത്തിന്റെ ഉന്നമനം മാത്രം ലക്ഷ്യം കണ്ട് ജീവിച്ച പുണ്യപുരുഷൻ ശ്രീമദ് അയ്യങ്കാളി. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ സംഭവ ബഹുലമായ ജീവിത ചരിത്രത്തിൽ നിന്നും എടുത്ത ചില സംഭവങ്ങൾ മാത്രം ഉൾക്കൊള്ളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് രചിച്ച ഈ നാടകത്തിൽ സമയപരിമിതിയാൽ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും പരാമർശിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. കഥാപാത്രങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഷ ഏവർക്കും മനസ്സിലാവുന്ന തരത്തിൽ ചെറിയ മാറ്റം വരുത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒരു കാലത്ത് പുലയനും പറയനും വേട്ടുവനും ചോനോനും ഉള്ളാടനും കുറവനും തുടങ്ങി താഴ്ന്ന വർഗക്കാരെ പുറംജാതിക്കാരെന്ന പേരിൽ തീണ്ടാചാരങ്ങളും മറ്റ് അനാചാരങ്ങളും പേരിൽ അടിമകളാക്കി മേൽജാതിക്കാർ നാട് ഭരിച്ചിരുന്നു. അന്നത്തെ ഇത്തരം അനാചാരങ്ങൾ കണ്ടിട്ടാണ് സ്വാമി വിവേകാനന്ദൻ കേരളത്തെ ഭ്രാന്താലയം എന്ന് വിശേഷിപ്പിച്ചത്. അറിവും വിദ്യാഭ്യാസവും നേടാൻ അതുവഴി തന്റെ സമൂഹത്തെ രക്ഷിക്കുവാൻ അക്ഷീണം പ്രയത്നിച്ച ആ യുഗപുരുഷന്റെ ജീവിത സമർപ്പണം വരച്ചു കാട്ടുവാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞതിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ കൃതാർത്ഥരാണ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഏവരുടെയും അനുഗ്രഹം പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് പുതുതലമുറയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി അഭിമാനപൂർവ്വം ഈ രചന സമർപ്പിച്ചുകൊള്ളു. കേരള നവോത്ഥാന യുവശക്തി മഹാത്മാ അയ്യങ്കാളി. ജഗത്തിലെ ജനം പേരിയലയും വിദ്യയെന്നുള്ളൊരാ ചൈതന്യ സമ്പത്തും സത്യവും നീതിയും ധർമ്മവും വിദ്യയിൽ നിത്യവും നിസ്തുലമായി വിരാജിക്കും.
1855 ജൂൺ 24. ശ്രീ പത്മനാഭദാസ വഞ്ചിപാല മാർത്താണ്ഡവർമ്മ കുലശേഖര കിരീടാധിപതി മന്നേ സുൽത്താൻ മഹാരാജരാജ ഭാഗ്യോദയ രാമരാജ മഹാരാജ അവർകൾ സകലമാന പേർക്ക് പ്രസിദ്ധപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന വിളംബരം. എന്തെന്നാൽ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലെയുള്ള അടിമകളിലെ സ്ഥിതിയെ നന്നാക്കണമെന്ന് നാം മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് ഈസ്റ്റ് ഇന്ത്യ കമ്പനിയാരിയുടെ വിസ്താരമായ രാജ്യങ്ങളിലുള്ള അടിമകൾ അനുഭവിച്ചു വരുന്ന ഗുണങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെയുള്ള അടിമകൾക്കും ഉണ്ടാകേണ്ടതും ആകെ കൊണ്ട് ആയത് 1029 ആണ്ട് കന്നിമാസം 30-ാം തീയതി 32-ാം നമ്പറായി പ്രസിദ്ധപ്പെടുത്തിയിരിക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ വിളംബര പ്രകാരം തിരുവിതാംകോട്ടിൽ അടിമ സമ്പ്രദായം അവസാനിപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു എന്ന് സകലമാന പേരെയും ഇതിനാൽ അറിയിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു.
Friends, we are continuing the session, and due to the time strain, the program will be continuing today in the night, 8 o'clock, 8 to 9. We have a special program on Ayyankalli's education, hosted by the Sahodaya School Complex, in a collaboration with the Chamber of Education, New Delhi, World School Alliance, and TCN International Commerce. Please stay tuned and fine-tuned with Babini Television, Newgen Sahodaya School Complex, World School Alliance, World Montessori Council, and the Chamber of Education. They are jointly hosting this event of Mahathma Ayyankali's
from Muslim community of Kerala fought against the social inequality and caste discrimination. At times, when education is prohibited for the Bahujans, Ayyankali opened schools for them despite the continuous attacks from the Savarnas. When the Brahmanic order did not allow the Bahujan women of Kerala to cover their breasts, it was Ayyankali who ruled out this order and brought liberation to them. He is also the crusader of people's rights for education and opened several schools like Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. enter the streets at any cost, and its violation results in severe punishment. Ayyankali broke this immoral Brahmanic social order by walking across the prohibited street along with his men. But the Savarnas engaged in physical fight with the Bahujans not to allow them to walk on the prohibited streets, and this is popularly called as Chaliya riots. He mobilized the people through plays of social protest. Since the schools did not allow the Bahujan children to educate, Ayyankali opened a school for them. The school started by Ayyankali had no blackboards. Sand on the floor was the book and finger the pencil. Ayyankali established Sadhujana Paripalana Singham in 1907 to bring unity among marginalized castes and turned it into mass movements for equality. The Sabha stands against the social discrimination. Ayyankali headed the first agrarian strike in the history. As a result of that strike, the landlords of the Kerala burned the huts of the Dalits and committed atrocities on them. One of his famous protests against the Brahmanical Hindu social order is his ride on the bullock cart through the streets of Kerala against the supremacy of the upper castes. With this brave step, he asserted the right to freedom of movement in the public streets. Another famous movement carried out by Ayyankali is right to women to cover their breasts. He asked the women to leave their chains of marble stones, which were a form of slavery. Ayyankali believed less in making speeches and more in concerted action to achieve his aims. He gave more importance to creative activities. Ayyankali started parallel courts to settle matters between the members of his community. Ayyankali started the magazine Sadhujana Paripalani, which was probably the first to be brought out by the untouchables. Ayyankali advocated for economic developments of Bahujans. Progress through education and organization was his slogan. Ayyankali was not only a leader of his community, but also an unshakable guide and commander of the working classes.
Thank you so much for watching with us. Stay tuned with Badminton Television and Sahodaya School Complex. We will be updating soon, and we will meet soon today, 8 a.m. to 9 o'clock. We have the second segment of the Ayyankali's observations. The international colloquium will continue. Thank you so much for watching with us. The recorded video will be uploaded 160 global media platforms, and we have to spread this one. Let's fly high over the world. Let's back to home, back to culture, back to heritage, and back to future. And wish you a very happy and prosperous Education Day, World Education Day, and happy Ayyankalli Day. Thank you so much.